Hi, all of you. Welcome to Shanmugam IAS Academy. Welcome to current events of the day. I'm having five more topics to be discussed for today itself. That is, first one is 43rd GST Council, and the second one is about monetary assistance as component of midday meal scheme. Bangladesh approves currency swap facility to Sri Lanka, and the fourth one is about International ENI Award 2020, resolving bottlenecks in procuring Pfizer's vaccine. So let us discuss the first one, that is 43rd GST Council. So goods and service tax. So this council has formed the committee each and every year or every time when the finance minister asks for the meeting. The 43rd GST Council met under the chairmanship of Union Finance Minister. Recently it has happened, that is why it is in news. The GST Council has made the following recommendations. As a COVID-19 relief measure, the number of specified COVID-19 related goods such as medical oxygen, oxygen concentrators and other oxygen storage and transportation equipment, everything which are regarding to the medicals of medications requirement of COVID-19 has been entered into the exemption from the IGST, that is integrated goods and service tax. So it is one benefit which has been given by the GST Council. In view of risk rising black fungus cases, the exemption from IGST has been extended to the amphotericin B. So amphotericin B is a medicine which is being used against the black fungus recent days. So the government has taken the decision to curb the IGST for it usage, such as movement of the goods from one state to another state, to support the lymphatic filariasis. So it is also an endemic disease. The medicine required for this disease is DEC, that is diethylcarbamazine. So the tax has been waived from 12% to 5%. GST on services in respect of ships or vessels shall be reduced from 5%, which has been 18% in the previous days. Annual return filing has also been simplified. The council has recommended amending the CGST Act to allow for self-certification of reconciliation statements instead of getting it certified by the chartered accountants. So this is all about with regards to GST Council, which has met under the chairmanship of our finance minister recently. And the next one is about monetary assistance as component of midday meal scheme. So recent days, because of this COVID-19, schools and colleges has been closed. So one of which, that is schools, are gaining this benefit of midday meal assistance, monetary assistance to the students. So this money is going to be transferred to the accounts of the students as direct benefit transfer. Not only that, the government of India had also announced distribution of free cost of food grains at 5 kg per person per month to nearly 80 crore beneficiaries under the scheme called PMJKY, that is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. So under these schemes, there are more than 80 crore beneficiaries who are going to be given with the grains at the kilo of 5. The National Program of Nutritional Support to Primary Education was launched as a centrally sponsored scheme in 1995, under which we are giving the midday meal. To enhance enrollment, retention and attendance and simultaneously improve nutritional levels among the children, we have taken this decision. The government has taken this decision to encourage the students to enroll them in the schools. 2001 it became a cooked midday meal scheme. So later on it just changed in its way as the day and weeks and years changes. So it was giving the students at the class of 1 to 8 the food for the classes of students 1 to 8 and who are studying in government aided schools, special training centers and madrasas, has been supported by this scheme called Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, SSA. We all know that Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is a centrally sponsored scheme. It is the largest school feeding program in the world. It is covered by the National Food Security Act 2013. So this is with regarding to midday meal scheme. Next one is about Bangladesh and Sri Lanka's relationship. Bangladesh approves currency swap facility to Sri Lanka. Based on this report, Bangladesh going to assist Sri Lanka by giving the dollars. So this dollars has been taken up by Sri Lanka from Bangladesh by issuing the Sri Lankan money. So Sri Lanka will be issuing their money to get the dollars from Bangladesh. So this is one kind of assistance which has been followed by Bangladesh to Sri Lanka. For Sri Lanka, this is cheaper than borrowing from the market. Yes, because they are going to assist in a lower cost. The period of the currency swap will be specified in the agreement. They have formed an agreement. In this agreement, they have signed a period in which they will be giving this money, this swap policy for certain period. This may be the first time that Bangladesh is extending the helping hand to the another country. So this is the first time they are doing this. It is also the first time that Sri Lanka is borrowing out of a SAARC country other than India. Sri Lanka did not approach India because India-Sri Lanka relations have been tense over Sri Lanka's decision to cancel the valued container terminal project at Colombo port. So the port which has been asked by the Indian government to be built in the Sri Lankan region called Colombo. So this port construction has been neglected by the Sri Lanka. So there is some tensions between India and Sri Lanka. That is why Sri Lanka didn't approach India. The arrangement was not extended. The RBI extended $4,000 million credit in a swap facility to Sri Lanka, which was settled in February. The SAARC currency swap facility came into operation in November 2012. So these are all the simple things which you have to have in mind while studying the foreign policy. So India is also following this currency swap technology with Japan. So Japan and India have signed this agreement together. So this is how this currency flowing. Typically, the company should have a comparative advantage in borrowing locally. Swap bank, company A and company B. In company A, they are pay foreign and they are receiving a local. So paying the foreign money and receiving the local. And company B, they are paying the foreign and they are getting the local. So this is how this money is being supplied between the banks and the companies. So here you can have this company as countries. Likewise, you can have a company A as Sri Lanka and the swap bank as Bangladesh. So there will be some negotiations and comparative advantages between them. And the next one is about International ENI Award 2020. Bharat Ratna Professor C.N.R. Rao has received the International ENI Award 2020 for research into renewable energy sources and energy storage. It is also called the Energy Frontier Award. The official ceremony will be held at the Quirinal Palace in Rome. The award has become internationally recognized over the years in the field of energy and environmental research. It aims to promote better use of energy resources and encourage new generations of researchers in their work. This is considered to be the Nobel Prize in Energy Research. So it has been given to that specific person, C.N.R. Rao, because of his good knowledge in the renewable energy sources and energy storages. And the next one is about resolving bottlenecks in procuring Pfizer's vaccine. So Pfizer is an entity or enterprise which has been making coronavirus vaccines. Pfizer is ready to supply 5 crore doses of mRNA vaccines between July and October, developed by this Pfizer and the company of German that is called BioNTech. However, the company has requested certain protection from the center as it has done with other 116 governments across the world, including the United States. Therefore, to seal the deal, the pharmaceutical giant and the Indian government must quickly resolve their long-standing dispute over the protection. So the protection regarding this procurement of Pfizer's vaccine should be ended with a negotiation. So this negotiation has been done by Pfizer's vaccine enterprises with so many countries in which they are giving their vaccines, but this is not being accepted by the Indian government. So why it is not being accepted? Pfizer said that it will be supply vaccine only to the central government, not to the individual states. So here one thing we are finding out that Indian government is not procuring the vaccines. Instead, it allows state government to procure the vaccines from different enterprises across the globe. So this is one thing. So Pfizer is not willing to give their vaccines to the state governments or local authority. It is only willing to give its material to the vaccines to the central government only, as it is having the policy within it. The company has also asked for protection from the government of India, such as slots for testing of their vaccines in Central Drugs Laboratory. The company is also requesting that it should not be liable for compensation. So if there is something happening because of the usage of these vaccines in the people, if he is losing his eye or a hand or his lives, the Pfizer will not be responsible, because it is also one major threat regarding the policy of Pfizer's. What's need to be done in order to increase the procurement? So we can easily understand by how the other countries has engaged with the negotiations and how they are procuring and how they are using these vaccines. So India should focus on those countries which are importing the vaccines from Pfizer's. Likewise, we can take USA, which is importing the vaccines from Pfizer's. So this vaccines has been injected in so many persons of this United States, and those person has not been identified with any kind of ill effects or diseases or any kind of malfunctions in their body. So this is one inference which we can take from USA, and we can go for the procurement of this vaccination because we are demanding the vaccines in our country. So the demand for the vaccines is very much higher. The whole vaccination program have to be completed in India. Then only we can move forward without masks and without sanitizer, and we can get into the new normal. So this is one thing which have to be followed by the government of India by noticing all other countries which are being importing, which are importing all the medicines of Pfizer's, and the inference that gathering from the other countries. So thank you for watching. With this we wind up today's session, and let us meet you on tomorrow's session. Thank you.